Welcome to the senior episode of Rambler Sports Locker. I'm executive producer Amelia Ickes.
And I'm technical producer Mary Plankey.
And we are joined today by two former executive producers, Moran over here and Conor Bergin. So for our final show today, we decided to just kind of chill out and just talk about some of our favorite memories here with Rambler Sports Locker. So I'll start with you. Conor, you joined before all of us, so please take me through it.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Of course.
It's been a long time. My favorite memory at RSL was my first year, which was back in kind of a super senior, sort of. But it was 2018. I joined second semester. I'd stalked RSL on Facebook before I committed to Loyola. I was really excited, and I joined. And 2 months later, they needed people because they were down low on people. So I unexpectedly got called up to go to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 of the March Madness tournament. That was when Loyola made their Final Four run, and I literally just joined, and 2 months later was at this event with Sports Illustrated and ESPN and all these reporters and announcers who I grew up watching. I was eating lunch with them and stuff, and I was the most it was the coolest but most terrifying experience ever, because you had to crowd in to get interviews for people, and I had seniors telling me to barge in and basically push, you had to push to get to the front, so they wanted me to push these ESPN people and stuff. But anyway, after Loyola won the Elite 8 game, I got to go into the locker room right after the game, and Sister Jean was there with a sideways hat, and everybody was just passing around the trophy, and it was just really cool. And at the very end, Lucas Williamson, when everybody had left, this was Lucas's freshman year, and I had 2 classes with him that year. He's also a really good journalist. He's in that documentary. He's really good. He saw me, and I didn't even know he knew who I was from class. And a few weeks before, a reporter got in trouble for celebrating with the players after they won the second round game, and he started walking over to me to give me a bro hug, and I was terrified because I thought I was going to get in trouble. But then I went for the bro hug with Lucas, and it was the coolest moment of my sports career. And in 7th grade, last thing I wrote, this is the last thing, I wrote in my goals, I was I'm going to lead a Cinderella team to the NCAA tournament. And I feel I made a wish, but I was too vague. And then a genie was you can be the reporter of a Cinderella team. And yeah, that is my moment.
Love it.
Yeah.
So looking back, 2017, first joined RSL. Could you ever see yourself becoming executive producer?
Yes.
Yes, in his 7th grade journal.
I had my eyes on the prize.
Did you really?
I was I was pretty committed. I was ready.
I know. For Eric and I don't think that we could say the same, honestly. So Eric, what were some of your favorite memories?
Yeah, so I think probably my mind just instantly goes to Arch Madness. I had the opportunity to cover that twice. I covered it in 2019 and 2020. And I think it was such a good experience because I feel it's something I couldn't really prepare for. You were just kind of thrown into it, and you had to do a lot of learning on the fly. I felt it's one of those things that you can take all these classes and you can do all this stuff, but unless you're actually in there and reporting, going to the press conferences and getting to go sit by the court and all this stuff, and I really learned a lot. I definitely look back at those late nights in the hotel rooms editing the episodes, and my mom checking in on me, seeing if I was okay, because I wouldn't check my phone all day because I'd be so busy. And also I remember doing stand-ups on the basketball stadium, and I remember the first time I did that, I was so nervous. If you probably don't do this, don't go back and look at the clip. But if you were to do that, you would see someone that's shaking and sweating, and I was just incredibly nervous. But I'm very grateful for it because I think it really did kind of shape what I wanted to do with my career and everything like that, and I really learned a lot. And the free food was nice as well.
Yeah, that's so true. So you mentioned what you want to do with your career, so what's next for you, Eric?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer, but here's what I'll tell you.
Please.
Rambler Sports Locker gave me all the necessary tools I need to go into the workforce. We may not know exactly what it is, but I learned a lot from Rambler Sports Locker. So I'm not worried about it at all.
Awesome. All right, and now, Miss Mary Plankey. So the three of us, Eric, myself, Amelia, and Mary, all started, I think, on the same day. Were you there on that first meeting?
I was, yes.
Yeah, we got an email from school communication that was like, come to Rambler Sports Soccer. So, Mary, let's start with that first day and start with your journey. What are some of your favorite memories?
So I grew up in Florida. I mean, mass transportation was it just wasn't a thing. We all had cars. There were buses, but there were no trains. So I lived on the Lakeshore campus my freshman year, and I came down here for the meeting, and I took it one stop too far south. Now, a logical person would think, I'll just get back on the train and ride it back up north one stop. No, I ran 25 minutes because then I got lost running, and I was late. I was about a half hour late to my first RSL meeting. So, yeah.
But you made it.
I did.
And so since then, what have been some of your favorite memories?
You know, I definitely would have to say Arch in March this year. You know, my freshman and sophomore year, they were just really hard with the way they were scheduled just over spring break and everything. And, you know, this year it fit the schedule, and I honestly felt like personally I was ready, and I felt like I was prepared. You know, I've been around RSL for almost 4 years now, and, you know, I feel like, you know, along with Eric, it's prepared me for a lot. I feel like it's given me a lot of confidence and a lot of opportunities that I don't think anywhere else would have been able to give me. You know, I was able to get an amazing internship with just RSL on my resume, and I think that's a huge opportunity that I don't think I would have gotten working with other people or anywhere else.
Right, absolutely. And so now it comes to myself. I should have been thinking about this while I'm asking you guys your questions. I have a whole bunch of memories, right, because I've been with RSL since like the first week of my freshman year. Definitely one that I think is the most like life-defining was probably that first trip to Arch Madness. So it was kind of like a Conor Bergin situation where it was like literally the week before Arch Madness, and our old executive producer, Haley Spittler, Haley, if you're watching, we all love you. She calls me, or maybe it was Connor who called me. I think it was Haley though, who was like, "Do you want to go to St. Louis?" And I was like, okay. And so I went to St. Louis, and I didn't grow up playing sports. I wasn't like a big sporty gal growing up, but I always loved watching them. And so when we traveled up there, walking and taking the service elevator up to that 4th floor and just seeing the entire arena, Enterprise Center in St. Louis, just seeing that floor, it's decorated Arch Madness. It was just absolutely unreal. It was the most like surreal experience for myself. And I think that was a moment where I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I really like sports, which like who would have seen that one coming? Certainly not myself, definitely not my family members. But that was definitely like a guiding moment for myself. So that was great. And then since then, I've been to 3 Arch Madnesses, 1 trip to the National Invitational Tournament with Connor, 10-hour drive straight through Iowa. That was great.
To Omaha, Nebraska?
To Omaha, Nebraska. We were there for a solid, 12 hours. I think we got there. They played the game. They lost.
I saw my brother. He went to school there.
Connor saw his brother. And I had some microwavable lean cuisine in the hotel, and then we left. So National Invitational Tournament, and then 2 trips to March Madness, which is just absolutely unreal. I'm so grateful for it. And we were all kind of talking about how much we've grown since joining RSL. And I'm not saying RSL completely made me who I am, but I think about, like Eric said, watching those old stand-ups of myself my freshman year, and just how nervous I was. I wish she could see then who I am now. I wish that she knew that confidence was coming, and so a lot of that comes from opportunities that I have here at RSL, opportunities that I have with the Loyola Phoenix. And I do just want to say that my first ever story, or my first time on camera for RSL was Connor was supposed to do a story on the women's basketball team, and then he got the flu. He was my RA in my freshman dorm, okay? So he's texting me, he's like, I got a camera and I got a tripod, and you're gonna go tomorrow morning and you're gonna do this package on the women's basketball team. So I spent all night watching videos on basketball, just learning every single rule possible, every single rule, right? And then I go and I interview them, and they're just like, it was just like talking to a friend, you know, it was just a normal conversation. So I prepped so much for this, but I credit that with teaching me all I know about basketball now, because 4 years later I was one of the beat writers for the team this year. So definitely learned a lot. Thanks, Connor, for getting the flu. So at every single first meeting of Rambler Sports Soccer, we open by going around the circle and saying our names and our majors and our hometowns and our favorite sports teams. So I figured, how cyclical would it be if we ended our time here with Rambler Sports Soccer by going down the line and doing it? So Connor, name, major, hometown,
My name is
team.
Conor Bergin. I'm a super senior. I'm a multimedia journalism major with a minor in sociology. I'm from Portland, Oregon. And my favorite team is the Portland Trailblazers. And I also want to give a shout out Haley Spittler, my journalism mentor, Isabella von Stedham, my co-EP, shout out Isabella, and Rebecca Van Deventer, my other co-EP, shout out, y'all are all missed. And yeah, go Blazers.
You want to go, Eric?
Sure, I'll go. What's my name? Oh, I'm Eric Moran. I am a journalism major. I'm and a marketing minor. I added that a few years ago. I didn't say that the first time. Let's see. I'm from Washington, D.C., and my favorite sports team is the Chicago Bears. And wait, let me look. This year, Chicago Bears, Super Bowl.
All right, Miss Mary.
You know, Eric, I might have to disagree with you on that one, but that's for another time.
Yes.
I'm Mary Plankey. I am from Tampa, Florida. I'm a multimedia journalism major with a minor in political science. And I would like to think that my favoritism of sports teams has grown over the years. But when I walked in here on my first day, my favorite team was the Cubs, and walking out of here, my favorite team is still the Cubs.
Awesome. And I'm Amelia Ickes. I'm a multimedia journalism major, what's new, with minors in political science and sport management. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, and my favorite team are the Boston Red Sox. All right, and now for the final time, we're all going to go ahead and sign off. So we'll start with you, Connor.
I'm Conor Bergin.
I'm Eric Moran.
I'm Mary Plankey.
I'm Amelia Ickes. Thank you so much for following our coverage this year. I hope you have an amazing summer break, and don't forget to turn out the lights.